Today is February 20th, and Brett Gardner remains a Yankee. He signs a one-year deal for $4 million. We're going to talk all about it. We're excited to talk about it. Hope you're excited to listen. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore and weekly awards. Stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD in the corner. A little Saturday live episode. Bat signal was rung last night. Got in our cars, drove through the snow, almost died. Jake got mugged, but we're here to talk about Brett Gardner returning to the Yankees. Jake, how you doing?
James, Big Baby David Mendelson, all the Talkin' Yanks faithful, letting it rip on a Saturday morning. Oh, I like that. Jim, I'm doing fantastic.
You being honest?
I am.
Okay.
I was leaving the office yesterday, and we had the early tweets that, Heyman, when John Heyman came out with the tweet that Brett Gardner and the Yankees were talking this close to spring training, it's like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think we know where this is heading. And then when it was official, I was by the park. That's a couple blocks up from the stadium. I was right by that rotund. It used to be a fountain. Now I think there's plants in it. I let out a "let's fucking go."
Wow, out loud.
Yeah.
In public.
Audible.
Anyone react?
Audible. No.
Couldn't hear you through the mask.
Couldn't hear me through the mask. I couldn't hear me. But, and I was surprised by that reaction because we've anticipated this.
Yep.
More or less.
Well, I was starting to get a little worried.
There was some worry, and then even when that Heyman tweet came out, I feel like I knew, but it's done. And I think the other thing, and not to flex too early on ourselves, but we kind of called the whole Yankee offseason, so we're the man?
We weren't the only people that had it eyed up, but once they traded Ottavino, it was very much, okay, well, they're going to sign two relievers in Brett Gardner. And they did.
Yeah.
So... yeah, I mean...
The only thing that we kind of half missed was the Tanaka thing where we're like, is the Yankees' best case bringing back everyone, maybe you swap out Ottavino, and instead of Tanaka, it's two starting pitchers with potential to beat Tanaka. So that starts getting into some heavier stuff, but Brett Gardner's back. I mean, the leadership changed. We lost CeCe, and then this year we were losing Tanaka, and then potentially Gardner, and it's like, that's like a totally new...
You know what? This is, let's not, I'll pause the on the field stuff because we are going to do a whole Brett Gardner back end of this.
Coming up.
Stay tuned.
DPP.
But morale and a human side and emotional side, I'm so glad Brett Gardner's last year in Yankees wasn't a 60-game season with no fans at all.
Yeah.
I'm so, obviously some people don't see the value that Gardner has added because he's not a Hall of Fame player. He's lived in the shadow. He is an everyday go out there, grind it guy. Some people do see that value, and he's been good. I mean, when you compare him across the league, he's been a good outfielder comparatively. So I'm so glad that he gets, if this is his last year in the Bronx, which I'm guessing it will be.
He's got the option.
But what is the option?
I don't know.
We don't have the full terms. I think
him and
I know
Justin
the
Wilson.
Yankees option. They have a team option for big money that there's no chance they pick up, but I think there were reports that there's a mutual option. We don't have the full thing.
So we don't. But I'm just happy that there's going to be maybe 25% capacity. Maybe by the playoffs there'll be fans there. It'll be a full 162. I'm happy that Gardy's last year as a Yankee wasn't last year.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense, and I'll be interested to see if it is this year. As my favorite quote from the replies last year, I tried to find it. Piano could fall on Brett Gardner, and he'd still be starting for the Yankees in left field. So
you have been saying a lot.
We'll see how everything goes. Guys, appreciate Brett Gardner, and if you don't, here's what I'll say. Right now, he's a bench piece. He's going to play a lot of baseball this year. Go look at other free agent outfielders that signed. Kevin Pillar, is around that price. Hunter Renfroe is around that price. Guys, as a baseball player, take the Yankee stuff and the spirit and all of that aside. Like, this is a good signing for the Yankees. And the most important part that needs to tie to that is that Brett Gardner can still play a good center field. When you go look at some of these other guys, if you start looking at Adam Eaton, who got $7 million, he can't really even play center field anymore. Jock can't play center field anymore. So keep the Brett Gardner scope in the realm of center fields. We've got great value with him on that contract. He's going to end up playing a lot of baseball. This isn't going to hurt Clint. And we'll talk more about that. But be excited, and I want to give our guy Sweeney Murdy some love, because Sweeney, put all the Brett Gardner haters under the table with one fell swoop. They know he's not a Hall of Famer, but I can't believe how many Yankee fans here, referencing Twitter, hate a player who plays hard without an ego and has repped NYY for so long. Certainly none of them ever go to the ballpark, because all he gets there is cheers. Bang!
Yeah, I think Rosenberg on the K show who called, he was like, he's an annoying tryhard, which I always laugh at. Like, Gardner does try really hard.
Yeah.
Probably his best asset.
I think that was taken a little out of context. Rosenberg was like, I'd love to have that guy on my team. I think that was part of the quote.
Oh, okay.
But,
I didn't listen. Someone just tagged me in it.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah. We're making content.
Yeah.
When they're doing content.
Yeah. I got confused there.
Right.
I was just going to say, Rosenberg, whatever. Baseball stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Gardner's good. I have thoughts on the Clint stuff. Clint's the starting left fielder.
Yes.
Gardner's the fourth outfielder.
Yes.
Gardner will play a lot. He's not going to be a guy that doesn't start games. Because in the regular season, they're going to mix and match, and they're going to get rest, and they're not going to value winning every single day. That's how the Yankees have operated since Boone came over. That's how the new regime operates. So,
and guys, Judge, Stanton, Hicks,
someone's going to get hurt.
Clint even has a bit of an injury history.
Someone's going to get hurt.
Brett Gardner, up until last year, because, by the way, they played a 60-game season, he played 140-plus games every year since 2013. So and he played 49 last year.
When all the people on the social medias that are screaming like this is gonna fuck over Clint, like give him a shot. I want Clint to be the starting left fielder. He is the starting left fielder. They've announced that. I want him to stay the starting left fielder. I do think this will mess with Clint a little bit. Because last year Clint was really good. He had one bad week, the last week of the season. Gardner had a good last week of the season, and the Yankees flipped it like that and just threw Gardner out there. Now, Gardner came through in the playoffs. He had a really good postseason in the 5 games he started.
He was at least in 6. Maybe he didn't start.
Yeah, he started 5. Clint started 2. They played 7,
yeah.
and Gardy came as a defensive replacement once. I do think the Yankees will flip that switch quicker than they should. I think they should allow Clint to go through struggles, and they should allow him to be the starting left fielder as long as the team's winning. I am worried about that as well, so I do understand the thought process there where they're like, they're never going to give Clint a shot. You know that as soon as Gardner starts hitting, they're just going to switch him out. I kind of get it.
I don't. I think it's going to be moot. There's going to be injuries. We're going to need at-bats from all of these guys. Tyler Wade played 52 games last year, 53 out of 60. I know that's apples and oranges a little bit, but guys, you need bodies throughout a baseball season. Brett Gardner is huge for this team. Who is going to be the next outfielder after Mike Talkin before Gardy? Was it Florial?
What do you mean?
Before the Gardy signing. If Talkman was the 4th outfielder.
Yeah. Greg Allen.
They
needed depth. They needed outfield depth.
This is good,
yeah.
and I'm
Jay Bruce.
I've got your positive spin zone. Is there a world where this messes with Clint? He's not getting everyday at bats again. I do think so. I think there's a world where Clint Frazier writes his autobiography in 10 years, and he thanks the hell out of Brett Gardner.
Yeah,
because look at where we've come with Clint Frazier as a person and a ball player in the past few years, and I think Brett Gardner rides his ass every day. On end. mostly on the field.
And they're going to be getting Judge and Stanton pretty regular days
God.
off. How many soft tissue injuries do they need to have?
The playing
Clint
time.
played a good right field last year, so.
Let's see who's there come October. I think that's the game. I almost, if we talk to, if you told me last year, bet who's going to be in the outfield for the playoffs if everyone's healthy, I still think I would have said Gardner. I think Clint brings it this year. He's locked in. I think he smiles that old man Gardy's back, and he's like, all right, I'm going to actually take this old MFer down this year. And I think Gardy wants that to a degree. Like, Gardy would love to shake his hand and say, yes, you get the playoff start.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Our starters are really good, true or false, at hitting baseballs
Yay.
when healthy. If our backup infielder is Wade and he's the defensive replacement and speed guy off the bench, and our backup outfielder is Gardner and he's the defensive replacement and speed guy off the bench, like in close games when you need a run first to home, those are two pretty good options for the backup outfield and backup infield guys, especially like if we get to the playoffs and that's our weapons off the bench with speed and defense, that's pretty nice. I think I can enjoy that.
Yes, and Brett Gardner's a freak, man. He still patrols center field, Yankee Stadium center field, really well at age 37. His sprint speed was 83rd percentile last year. He's 37.
Yeah.
He's a freak. Like, he should be.
What did Matt Holliday call him? Like a ball of muscle?
I think the muscle hamster.
No. John Sterling used to say his muscles have muscles.
His muscles have muscles.
Yes, that's what John Sterling said once. Or Matt Holliday said it.
Brett Gardner, Jake Storielli.
Yeah. This guy's muscles has muscles. Let's talk about the contract. It's $4 million. You already said it's pretty lower than his contemporaries at this position. And I think Gardner's didn't even look. Like the reports, he didn't even look anywhere else to go.
The other teams don't know his agent.
Yeah, yes.
Matt Holliday called him a little ball of muscle.
A little ball of muscle. And then I think John Sterling quoted that and then said he's got muscles on his muscles. Okay. Justin Wilson, we still don't know.
Never will.
What his contract is, but this is it as far as bringing in more money to the team. This is it.
Yeah.
We're finally feel like now moves aren't going to be. There's more moves to be made, and we're going to do that on Monday's episode because things might shake out over the weekend. We might get moves right away. We'll see because they need to add Wilson and Gardy to the 40-man. It seems like Greg Allen is probably a DFA. Talkman has no options. So if he doesn't break camp with the team, they have to DFA him and trade him, or he has to go on waivers. So he seems like a very likely trade candidate, but we can do all of our theories and deep dives on Monday.
A lot of teams calling about Talkman. We've done the Albert Abreu thing before. So, yeah, we'll see it. We'll save that for Monday. Guys, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Pinstripe Strong's got a couple things coming out with Joe's, Chris, and Keith. But until then,
where the fuck is it?
I'm thinking that until we get to that point, then until we start doing that, until we get to that point.
Fuck everything.
Then we.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. This is Brett Gardner's player profile and projection. He's part of the team going forward 2021. Brett Gardner, the fourth outfielder, impromptu player profile and projection. It's an episode a day, every day until opening day. We slid everyone else back. Who was supposed to be today?
Kyle Higashioka would have been today.
So he'll be tomorrow now.
Hot.
He'll be tomorrow, Zep, and we'll be back Monday with the full episode to discuss all the things that have been happening in camp, the gas station. But for now, we're doing Brett Gardner's PPP.
Jim, if you're not familiar with Brett Gardner, why are you listening to this? It's going to be his 14th major league season with the Yankees. If you're a WAR person, which a lot of you aren't, 43 career WAR, which is really good. And man, this guy's a horse. He's going to come in as the fourth outfielder. Do think he'll play a lot. And just a reminder, last year he started off really slow. He did pick it up towards the end. He ended up having a positive OPS plus, a 108, 747 OPS, 354 on base. He drew a ton of walks last year. He's actually 95th percentile in MLB in walks last year. So how about that? Gardy with the good eye, people are saying. And yeah, man, I mean, leadership. A lot of fun. Low-key fun.
Clubhouse prankster.
Happy he's back.
I'm also happy he's back. I forgot he had a good postseason last year.
He sure did.
Small amount of games, but I forgot that he came too.
That was one of the Gardy haters thing, too, that he never did it in the postseason. He did last year.
And I think it's because he always gets a little worn out.
Yeah.
So maybe the 60 games helped, and maybe that's like I am hoping, best case, that Gardner does not become an everyday player. But this will be the third year. In 2018, he wasn't supposed to be an everyday outfielder, right? Going into 2018, he was supposed to be the fourth outfielder, but Judge got hurt. Stanton was banged up. 2019, Judge, Stanton, and Hicks all banged up.
We've basically been doing this dance with Brett Gardner since, I'd say, 2010.
2020, Judge and Stanton banged up.
For about a decade, we've been doing that. Is Brett Gardner a starting outfielder?
But in 2017, at least the plan was, Brett's going to start in left field with Ellsbury starting in center, or Hicks, and then Hicks and Judge were competing for right field. That was the 2017 spring training. Yeah. The two Aarons were competing. This will be the 18-19, fourth year we're going in at this point saying he's supposed to be the fourth outfielder to spell guys. Maybe he plays 3 times a week, 4 times a week, but he's going to be rotating through, giving guys rest and all that. We'll see if it happens because injuries have been crazy, but, all the big guys are doing yoga now. So maybe he does. I am hoping he does not have to become like an everyday center fielder because I do think he gets a little worn down. Second half Gardner.
It's fair.
So I'm hoping that Clint stays in left, Hicks stays in center, Judge stays in right, Gardy spells Hicks maybe versus righties, spells Clint versus righties every now and then, and he can just rotate around. But there will be a stretch where Gardner has to be the starting center fielder or left fielder, and I hope that it's just 1 month stretch or something like that, and he's a little more fresh for postseason.
Yeah, I mean, obviously injuries are going to dictate a lot of this. I mean, the outlook for Brett Gardner to play every day can change almost instantly. So we'll see what happens there. If that is happening, you should feel happy about it. The guy, all he does is play good defense. He does run hot and cold, which I think that becomes the ire of some Yankee fans, but when he's hot, it's pretty awesome. Dude gets legit hot, especially now that he's old man Gardy. There's power behind it. In 2019, Brett Gardner hit 28 home runs. The last full season of baseball, Brett Gardner had an 829 OPS. The fact that he still plays center field and does this, I get it. He's getting older.
So some people are going to say juice balls, but everyone had him.
Sure, that's fine.
And it's still good numbers.
Didn't he have the same home run number as Judge that year? Judge got hurt.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Sometimes availability is the best ability, Jim. And Brett's going to be there.
And that's why people like us. We're here for him on a Saturday.
We're here for it. So, man, I think Clint is the big topic. We just touched upon it a little bit. I think Clint's going to get every opportunity. I think the Yankees, to start the year, if everyone's healthy, which is a big if, they're going to do their Yankee stuff. They're going to rotate guys in, and, they'll do the 2 on, 1 off, and it's going to be a little frustrating. But then we'll get into the flow of the season, and we'll see where everyone's at. But I think at-bats are going to be there for Clint and Gardy as long as they're healthy. And we'll see what's going on with the rest of those big dudes with injury histories. But yeah, I agree with you, and leaning into the haters a little bit. The postseason stats haven't been great, and he does get worn out. So if we could keep a fresh Brett Gardner,
his whiff percentage went down last year.
Yeah, man. He was seeing the ball great.
His whiff percentage went down. His walk percentage, as you noted, went up. He was in the 95th percentile for walks. He's still not great in the whiff percentage. It gives you such a different at-bat where he has so many swings where he's not trying to put the ball in play, where a lot of guys don't. What are about it? I want to see his pitches seen per
plate appearance.
Because that's something that he brings, especially in big games and big moments. His ability, you think about that Indian series where he saw, what was it against Allen, like 11 pitch at bat?
Battles. Batlin. They call him the Batlin from Gatlin.
They do?
When he was from Gatlinburg, Virginia in his past life.
That's what they called him.
Yeah.
Do you have what number are you eyeing for him? Are you eyeing games played?
I think games played is the conversation. I think Gardy's hitting is going to land where it is.
In 2019, the last full season, Brett Gardner was 5th in pitches per plate appearance in all of baseball, with averaging 4.3 pitches every plate appearance.
It's pretty good.
So even if you walk him, he's going to make you throw a 5th pitch.
It's pretty good. I think games is the number, man. And I'd love to open up the board on this because, like I said, Brett Gardner from 2013 to 2019, and like you said, he's been in position battles for 2 of those years, if not more. He's played 140-plus games out of 162.
In the last how many years?
So that was 2013 to 2019. Last year, he played 49 out of 60.
It's so funny that every year for the last 3 years, we've been like, he's not going to get everyday run, and then the big guys get hurt, and Gardner's out there playing center field every day. And
he plays, and he's a OPS plus positive hitter when he's out there. He still has the speed, and he plays great defense, whether he's in left or center field. So
in 2019, with those power numbers that you said, he played 98 games in center field.
What's the minimum amount of games he plays next year?
80.
Yeah, I'm there.
That's the same where you were?
Yeah. Half the season.
Half the season. You're saying games or games started? Because games, I think you're in like the 120s.
I like to lump them together. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that with Gardy too much. I mean, it's kind of tough to tell a 38-year-old to get the engine hot for the last 2 innings of a game.
Runs hot.
So I don't know. I guess I'm thinking in the realm of starts and games. I mean, what's the biggest variance in starts and games played he's had in a season? Do we have that?
I don't know, but Wade's was crazy last year.
Right, but I mean that's young man Tyler Wade.
Well, let's see. 2019 would be a good one, but he always starts because they're always injured.
Right, like his lowest game starts
131 in 2019 with 141 games, so 10 off the bench.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, the variance here is very small. So I think when Gardy's out there, he's going to be out there. And I think it's at least half the season. And that would be
10 games in 2017 as well.
It would
or
be
2018.
The way we're thinking about it is Gardy plays twice a week, and then you're factoring in, a couple injury stints. And that gets you to 80 pretty quick. So that's the baseline, and I think the max is probably 145.
12 games that he didn't start in 2017. So, yeah, it's around 10 to 12 games he comes off the bench.
Every year since 2015, it's been from 9 to 12.
9 to 12 games off the bench. Okay, so he's not coming off the bench that much. So then I'm going to raise 100 games.
Okay.
I do think even if everyone's healthy, they're just going to rotate days.
Yeah,
they're going to rotate him through.
I think it's hard for us to actually picture everyone being healthy.
Yes, very hard.
It's impossible.
We've been watching the Yankees
Yes.
for 3 years.
But
all that yoga?
All that yoga now, all that water.
Water and yoga.
Cressyville, USA. Let's make Cressy shirts. Cressy's Yoga Factory.
I'm not bought in yet.
Oh no, I think that's the funny part.
I want to be.
I would love to be.
We should do a PPP on Cressy and just
Cressy's
talk
life.
about No, we
Do
should
like a 3-hour long Eric Cressy pod.
we should have a number we set aside, like what needs to happen for us to clap for Cressy at
be
the end of the
Team
season.
Cressy?
Yeah. One of Judge or Stan has to play the entire season, and is
Yeah.
that the baseline?
It's like one of those
Something with the
has to
pitchers.
get buck 40 games. And
Oh,
then,
okay,
and
I
like,
have it.
There's a number. I don't know where you track it, but like total like games missed is the stat you can find.
I'm so low on all the injury stuff because we've been watching the Yankees for the last 3 seasons, as I've said.
Fair.
If one of Judge or Stanton makes it all the way through the season, to the postseason, healthy, and one of Kluber Tyone makes it all the way through the season, healthy, I think I might go standing
Okay.
for Cressy.
I like that.
We've found improvement.
Just one person from each group.
Yeah.
No IL stint.
It's a pretty low bar
It's not bad.
for the best physical trainer supposedly in like sports.
Good luck, Cressy. We'll circle back to him on the Cressy deep dive, Joe Rogan style podcast. What else do we need from Gardy, man? I mean, it feels like there's more, but it's not. If you're
What about ejections? You want him to get ejected a couple times?
you
know,
yeah.
Trevor
If
Plouffe
he's not getting playing time, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when CeCe was not pitching, but he was just barking on the bench.
Yeah.
So like bench Gardner is going to be, he's a guard dog.
It's like an old dog.
Literally, he becomes the guard
When
dog
an old
when he's
dog
not starting.
stops mixing it up with the other dogs, they get a little more bitey and sensitive. Like I want Gardy doing that.
I don't think he got ejected in 2020 at all.
There's a lot going on. Couldn't touch people.
I believe he hasn't been ejected since the.
Cuzzy one.
The umps were out for him.
Got ejected
legitimately.
twice in 2019. Yeah, okay. You want him to get
Cuzzy was
ejected?
in
I'd like one
mid-August.
ejection.
Okay.
I think a September ejection. Yankees are kind of like cemented in the postseason. Gardner has announced this is going to be his last year, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
And you're just like, just like a boring day game.
Know what I'd love?
Yeah.
If Brett Gardner doesn't have to start against the lefty all year.
Wow.
Because guess what? Brett Gardner in his down, not great year last year, short season, got hot in the playoffs. Against righties, Brett Gardner had a 370 on base and an 802 OPS.
Last year.
So
you're saying if he doesn't start against lefties at all, there's a chance his numbers will be the best they've been in a while.
Last year this is 21 at bats, but he was bad against lefties. No extra base hits. Hit
How was he
190.
against righties? Oh, shit. In 2019 against righties, he had an 892
Which is
OPS.
a borderline all-star player, especially with his defense. That is an all-star player.
So, with his defense against righties, he was.
So Brett Gardner never against lefties.
Just don't play him against lefties at
So
all.
who are the lefties in our division? There's actually a few, right? Erod,
Sale.
Ryu, if Sale comes back,
Comes back eventually.
Robbie Ray, John Means.
Yeah.
Do the Rays have lefties?
Rich Hill.
Mats.
Yarbrough.
Mats is now
Mats.
over there.
Mats is like batting practice for Clint, so that was never an option.
Okay.
So yeah,
Hicks just needs to be around.
Keegan Aiken.
Kagan Eichen. If Brett Gardner could not have to start against a left-handed, what would be
Rich
a real
Hill?
number? What would be a real number? Because Brett Gardner's going to start against a lefty some point this year when there's injuries.
Don't.
If we could
Fucking
keep
injuries. Like, I'm going to look at Jock
Boing,
Peterson. How many games did he start against the lefty? They don't fucking have it. 1 or 2. 5. Jock started 5 games. He's played 109 games in 2019. He started 5 games against the left-handed starting pitcher.
talk about
So,
protecting a player.
Let's give Brett Gardner the Jock Peterson treatment.
5 or fewer.
Like less than
I'd say
10.
10.
Less than
I think
10.
10's a fair number. If
Less
Brett Gardner,
than 10 starts versus a lefty, and Gardner's numbers may look rather nice. He had an 890 OPS against righties in 2019,
again, really good.
which is really good. Okay, I like that. So we're eyeing total games played, and then we're eyeing starts against lefties.
Total games played, starts against lefties. Works for me.
Might be harder to come up with their total at bats number because there'll be a lefty reliever at some point.
Ooh, how about that? If
You're not going to do that
But I guess
because
if it's a close game.
his defense is there.
Yeah.
So It would really have to be
It depends if he's already been brought
bottom
in
of
for
the
someone.
ninth inning with the go-ahead run on base. You'd pinch hit for Gardy.
With Clint?
Because if it's
there.
a close game, you're going to want his defense out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Imagine you pinch hit Clint, and then there's a ball that Gardy gets that Clint doesn't get, and that costs the game. I don't know if it's worth the risk. So
Depends game situation, everything that's
there's
going
so
on.
many
Yeah.
parameters.
There's a lot of
there.
it.
Year
If
already.
it's
Clint's defense might take another step up.
second and third, no outs, and the Yanks are up 2, then put
Yeah.
Clint in.
Yeah.
Let's blow it out. We could
that's
we
very
could do that
situational.
for all day. But yeah,
I like what you fell into here with the let's not start him against lefties
why
at all.
bother?
Protect him.
He
All
doesn't
right.
want to.
Baseball Reference has this projected. They're doing this with 80% reliability.
It's a big number for them.
80% reliability. 468 plate appearances. That's a full season.
Yep.
That's like 135 games. So they have been playing a lot.
Yep.
16 home runs, 733 OPS.
Sure.
50 walks, 320 on base percentage. I'd like the good eye to like the on base percentage being that high. I'd like that to carry over.
A savvy vet.
Let's get the on base percentage in 340s.
Done.
Okay.
Higher.
Well, I mean, he's never really done that much.
Well, he went he tried to become Power Brett for a couple years, so now he's just going to be
Well, they juiced the balls, so he's like,
he's
well,
going to be
shit.
true outcome Brett.
Shit.
Walk, homer, party.
Do you remember in 2017 when he did hit all those home runs, or was it 2019? Meredith asked him, like, what do you got to say about this newfound power? And he was like, well, the balls are juiced. That was his end of game interview. It's like, well, the balls are a bit different. No secret about that. It's like, all right. He knows what's up.
That's good. And final thought for me, where I started. Compare Brett Gardner to other center field options, and you're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you will. All right.
You want Max's over under?
Yeah. I forgot. Did Max get it to us today, or did he?
No,
prep
he
this?
had it.
He had it prepped.
I had a Gardner one scheduled because I assumed
okay.
he was going to be back. So, but Max is over under 109.5 games.
That's a good line.
That's right where we were, huh?
Yeah.
Why bet against it, man?
Yeah, why bet against it at this point? I mean, you're basically betting on injury, which
Cressy, prove us wrong.
Yeah, come on, Cressy.
Cressy, prove us wrong. Gardy finds a way, man.
Yeah, like female dinosaurs mating.
Big time.
Life finds a way. That's Brett Gardner's player profile and projection. These have been coming out. If you're watching live on YouTube right now and you're like, what are they talking about? We've been doing these. This is the 4th year, episode a day, every day until opening day. We do mini episodes on every single player. If you want to go back and listen to the previous ones, we've already done DJ LeMahieu, Zach Britton. This is the 3rd. Brett Gardner. Tomorrow's Higgy. The patrons know the full order, and no one else shall. Ooh, shout out to our patrons.
Well, now the patrons kind of don't know the full order anymore. It's still in the same general order, just the dates are wrong.
Bam! Thank you very much. Go Yankees. Check this out. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do both at once.
Okay.
Ready?
I can play one of them if it's not going to
Go Yankees. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees. Go Yankees.
Remix.
Go Yankees. Go Yankees. Go Yankees. Go Yankees.
It's first time DJing in a while.